There we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Big Hitter interviews. We're starting with Nishant. Did I pronounce that right?
Nishant.
Nishant. And your last name. Can you pronounce that one for me?
I'll give you $100 if you try and get it right.
Okay. So then the deal's the same for me then. So
All right, it's
Hardwaj.
Bharadwaj.
I was close. Okay. Now you
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
pronounce my last name.
All right, let's see. I'm gonna try. Hammer.
See? No. Hey to a guy named Merle. Hey Merle. So I know
Haimerl.
I feel your pain, man. I have the exact
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah.
All right, so I wanted to bring you on here because for motivational purposes for everybody, so they could hear from some big hitters that are out there that are doing really well. And your name came highly recommended, and I know who you are and how well you do just from talking to a couple people. So we've basically got 10 questions for you. We can
Sure.
cover anything else we want as we go, and we can just enjoy it and work through it. So I know you're busy, so we'll jump right in here.
All
Um,
right.
First thing, just can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your life?
Yeah, for sure. I actually moved to America as a student 8 years ago, and came here to get my MBA. I'm originally from India. uh, just was working for the corporate America, so to speak. But I just got too tired of it, and always wanted to do something on my own. So started online about 3 years ago, and for the first year, it was kind of like I was making money, but just like not really doing things at the level where we're doing right now. And then find Facebook ads, and how to sell physical products using Facebook ads, T-shirts, everything else in between. So that's and then just like really it really started scaling that up. I love playing cricket, so anytime cricket comes up, I'm always game for that. And yeah, I am a single father of an amazing 5-year-old kid.
Oh, cool. Okay, good,
Yep.
awesome. So, and for those that don't know, what do you do online?
Well, I do a few different things, and we have e-commerce business where we sell physical products. We also do a lot of T-shirts, uh, using 4 or 5 different websites that we have. Each of them are their own brands, and then we also, have the digital publishing business where we teach people, things that we do that makes us money. So we help people grow their businesses online, and we have some coaching offers and things like that. But
Okay,
mostly e-commerce and digital products.
okay, awesome. And then everybody always wants to know this, so just ballpark. You don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but just an average, if just to, you feel free to brag if you want, or you can refuse the question, no problem at all. It's up to you.
It's Yeah, it's all right. We do fairly well. Average revenue in terms of revenue would be about $500,000 a month.
Wow, that's awesome. Fantastic. And then the next question I get from everybody is how much do you spend on ads?
Uh, we spend about a couple hundred thousand dollars per month on ads.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it
Makes sense.
depends. A lot of time, if it's a slow month, we'll spend 120, 150, 100. If it's a good month, we've spent as much as almost $500,000 in a month.
Cool. Awesome. And then, so spending, having that much revenue and spending that much on ads, the next question is, and I already know the answer, but do you have a team? And
Yes,
so,
I actually have a very amazing team. I'll actually show you two of those people here right now with me.
hello.
That's my designer. That's my product manager.
Cool.
Uh,
Very
so
cool.
yeah, and then I've got a few other people that help us out.
Awesome. Okay. And then just a lot of the stuff I deal with is on the ad side. I run my own store too, but I'm nowhere near your level at all, and I don't have a team. But what's your favorite type of ad to run, and why?
Well, I think the question I would like to ask myself, would be, what type of ad would you choose for a specific campaign? And I
Hmm.
think we have like PPE and CW. My favorite type of ad, I guess, if you really want to hear, is the conversion ad, because it really gives you the true indicator of performance over a longer period of time. Plus, it's kind of like building an asset for you, because you get a lot more data built up on your pixel over time. So you're not just like done with the ad, and then it has no residual value when you have a pixel-based ad, like a conversion ad, it has a ton of residual value, and you're essentially building, asset. It's like, working on your body. You're building a muscle, and that's what the conversion ad is. I also love PPE ads. We get a ton of exposure and a lot of viral reach using PPE ads. But usually the case with them is like once they die down, after that it's really like they don't really have the residual value, so to speak. So from an asset perspective, the conversion ad, and then from a pure engagement perspective, the PPE ads.
Gotcha. I totally agree on the pixel as well with the conversion ads. That's my
Yep.
favorite too. And it is a long-term asset. You're right. It's like working out. You gotta keep working
Yep.
out in order to maintain the
Yep.
gains and get bigger and stronger. And same thing with the pixel. Good point.
Yep.
Okay, so question 7. We are flying through this, but that's good. How many products? How many products do you launch weekly, approximately? Tell us about how you launch them and test them.
So we probably launch maybe like 150 a week. Is that a good number?
uh, Different designs.
Yeah, like different designs. Yeah.
150.
Yeah. So I would say about 150 different designs, and most of them are usually t-shirts. I would say over 125, 140 of them are probably t-shirt, because again, that's the main focus that we have right now.
Okay.
Uh, and then what we usually do is we look at the ad, and we break it down into like two different aspects. So we make a PPE campaign for them, and then we also make a CTW campaign for them. Now, if it's something that's really hot, very trendy, we also run video ads for that. But usually, we don't run video ads unless it's based upon a certain trend that's taking off, or some certain trend that's about to come. So I would say most of them are PPE and not the CTW, the conversion ads. And then we usually test them out for about 2 to 3 days on low budgets, $10 to $15 per day. That gives us enough data to make a call whether it's a winner or whether it's worth investing more time and money into this or not. And usually after $50 to $60 in ad spend, you'll have a fairly decent idea of what it's going to do.
Okay. Good. And then the indicators that you're using are just comments or shares, likes, and things like that.
Now, I actually pay a lot of attention to sales as well. So I would still pay attention to other things like, what's the engagement. So, say for example, if my cost per engagement is really, really low and I just don't have any sales, well, that tells me that there might be some problem with my design, or there might be something else going on. So I may give that particular campaign an extra couple of days. Whereas if the cost per engagement is really high, or if the cost if the cost of traffic is very high, and the engagement's not there, then I know that there's probably something wrong with the targeting. So you want to see, because when you make sales, you got to have two very important components. Your targeting has to be on point, and people have to love your designs. If either of those don't work, well, it's not going to succeed. So we try to find out, why is it not successful? Is it because of the design part, or is it because of the targeting part? And usually, if you dig deep enough, you'll find your answer. So that's what we usually try to find out, if it's the design problem or if it's the targeting problem.
Gotcha. Okay. Good stuff. Okay, and then just dealing on the more general level, um, why do you think people struggle to make money online doing this?
Uh, well, I think there is a multitude of reasons why they struggle to make money online. The first and the biggest thing is, I think people, first of all, have to come out of this victim mentality. Most of the people, when they come online, they launch maybe like a few products, or they do whatever. Let's say SEO and whatnot. It doesn't matter what you do. Within a very short amount of time, they have these very unrealistic expectations that they'll go and make millions of dollars in a year or less, or in like a few months. Now, does that happen? Absolutely. That has happened to a lot of people. And I've made a ton of money in 2 years, but that's not the norm. That's more like an anomaly. Most people don't get to that level like that fast. And the thing is, most people try to go for that, and anything less than that, they don't accept that as their reality. So they live in this really make believe world that anything they're going to do is going to be super successful. And when that doesn't happen, they start looking for reasons uh, to essentially make themselves feel better about themselves, or their choices, or why it didn't work out. So they
Mm-hmm.
start saying, oh, the product creators, they're scammers, they don't really give you good information. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen. People put out really crappy training material all the time, but at end of the day, it also comes down to what you can actually learn from that as well. The other thing is that people get so caught up with like a particular trick or a method that they don't really look at it as a complete business. Like if you're just saying, oh, I could do this little trick, or I could like get my videos to rank on page one of Google using this little trick, or I could trick Facebook into doing this thing. Well, you're really not learning the whole game. The end of the day, it really is a very simple game. You just have to have a good product to sell, and you need to learn how to sell, and that includes how to write good copy. That includes how to really do your research on your audiences, and then find out where these people are. They may not be on Facebook, or they may not be on Google. You just have to really understand what makes people buy, uh, and then what are some of the things that you could offer people. So say if you never want to do e-commerce, you could still make a lot of money. And I'll give you an example. Let's say if you're a carpenter, and you don't really know what type of products to sell to other carpenters. Well, guess what? You could share your own experience. You could just go into your workshop, just video everything that you're doing, and maybe teach people how to make like a really beautiful table. And if you really do your research and find out where these people are, maybe you can find out some of these people in these other online publications. You could essentially reach out to these people and sell your product. So it just comes down to people not putting in enough time and effort into really learning the systems of selling. End of the day, you just have to sell, and if you understand that, everything else will fall in place for you. And Facebook's no different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. And you're right, the victim mentality is something that's widespread. It
Yeah.
seems everybody feels like they're entitled to success without putting in anything into it. So
Yep.
it's easier to
The
point
other yeah.
fingers than, take responsibility.
Absolutely. And the other thing is, people, they jump from one thing to other very, very fast, and they don't really persist with something. I'll give you a very example. My roommate, my best friend, he struggled for about 5 months, and he spent $3,200 before he made his first T-shirt sale. And I'm talking about back when selling T-shirts was like a piece of cake.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't give up. He didn't say, oh, this doesn't work, and moved on to something else. He just kept at it, kept working at it, kept trying to figure out why he's failing, and kept investing in himself, kept buying other courses, and just really staying on course. And now he's a consistent 6 figure per month earner. So it
Well,
all
that's good.
comes down to how persistent you are as well.
So persistence and having you as a roommate will get you there.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so next question. What are three traits that you see in all successful people?
The first trait, and I would say the most important trait I see, is that most successful people at least the ones that I've met are like sponges. They soak information, they ask the right questions, and they don't really think that they're beyond something. They don't really think that they're bigger than something. They always look at things like as they are, and they try to learn from everything instead of thinking that I am bigger, than this particular thing. So if it's a new course, they don't really think that, oh, I already know everything. No, they'll still go and buy it. They may not learn anything new from it, but they would still go and try to learn something from it. So their main motivation is not to like making money is obviously the byproduct of that, but their motivation is to really learn something that becomes an asset to their mind. And once you look at things from those perspective, everything else becomes very easy. The second thing, and again, it comes down to that, is not playing victim and just taking responsibility for whatever is happening. Because a lot of people, they look at their present situation as their ending point, which it's really not. They say, for example, you might have somebody that just lost his job, and they look at that one event as their end all be all of their life story. But successful people, they just look at these little incidents as the isolated event in their lifetime, and look at it as more of a learning experience than something that's going to hold them back. So they just say, okay, like this thing happened, I can't really change it, but what can I learn from it? And either not make this thing again, or try to do this better the next time. So that's the other thing I would say. I've seen that. And the third thing is, most of the successful people are very interpersonal people. They're very good networkers, and it doesn't matter where they go, they always find ways to connect with people. I know people like Don Wilson, Matt Schmidt, all these guys. One of the things that always stand out about these people is that they're very good networkers. So not just in terms of reaching out to the people that are beyond their level, but also people that are at their level and below their level. They don't necessarily look at people as dollar figures. They look at people as, okay, this guy, he's cool. I think he adds a lot of value to other people's lives. Let me connect with him.
Awesome. Great answers. Okay, and we're at number 10 already. So
Okay.
this is kind of the closing thing, and then you can add whatever you want after this. But what advice would you offer to people who want to do what you do at your level?
Well, I would say, first of all, just stick with one thing. So don't try to move in 15 different directions at once.
Mm-hmm.
Find one thing that works, really perfect that, and then build a team around it. Build a team that you can trust. Give those people, essentially teach those people everything. Give them your trust. Give them everything, and then just try to replicate that over and over. And I think it really is that simple. If you look at super successful companies like Walmart, they did not build out 100 stores at once. They just started out with one small store in Arkansas, and Sam Walton just learned all these different things from other businesses. Really started to perfect that in his one little store, and then from there on, they became the Walmart that we know today. So it's just a matter of really finding one thing, getting really good at that, teaching that to other people, so that now you can go and build the other things, and just staying on course with that.
Good stuff. Well, I really appreciate your time. I know you're a busy guy, so thank you for your input. Thank you for answering all the questions. I know that I didn't even get these to you in advance, and you answered them as if you'd had them for a week. So that's really
Wow.
good. Thank you very much for taking time with us today. I am going to post this up on YouTube, and I'm going to post it in that group that I was telling you about. So
Yeah.
we'll get people motivated, and I don't think they're going to catch you anytime soon, but maybe they can get up to your level eventually, me included. So
Yeah, no problem.
awesome.
And I got here in less than a year, so there's no other reason. There's no reason why somebody else can't. And I know people that have gone beyond my level as well. So yeah, it's not a big deal at all. It's all in your mind. If you can dream it, you can achieve it.
Awesome. Thank you very much, my friend.
Yeah, you're welcome, Bill.
You have a good day now, and we will chat
You
soon.
too. Yeah, bye bye.
See ya.